So you've alluded to this a few times, right? You're a Canadian that's investing in the United States. What are some of the unique challenges and advantages maybe that you've encountered so far?
Well, I say this somewhat tongue in cheek. So, for instance, on this current deal that we have, we're raising $5.25 million on the equity side. If you wanted to take that kind of capital, invest in Toronto, you might get two condos and a couple parking spots. In Texas, with $5 million in equity, I can buy 120 units and, all the parking I could ever need because we invest outside of primary markets. So we're in secondary, and potentially tertiary markets. So I say that half tongue in cheek, but it's just the affordability is incredible on the deal side. If you can get them at a discount, so this particular deal, we're buying at a $3 million discount to replacement value. So there's equity on the buy. It cash flows because the occupancy is high on one of the buildings. The other one needs to lease up a bit more. They're newer buildings, but it's just the economics just work a lot better. And then to answer your second part about the Canadians, so number one issue people have about investing right now from Canada into the US, and we predominantly raise most of our capital in the US because Canadians are a little bit more gun shy, and there's a couple other considerations. So one question we always get is on the FX. And the way I answer that, and it's a deeper conversation, but, you take your hit on one way and it benefits you on the way back when you
Real
repatriate.
quick, would you define what FX is for our audience?
With foreign currency exposure. So if you're buying it in the Canadian dollar and, what is I don't know even know what it's trading at today. It's like $1.40 or something. So it's a bit of it's a hit for us. It's a dollar. We have to pay $1.40 for every $1 invested in the US. So but that's on the outbound. On the inbound, that benefits you because it's the FX is still in your favor to repatriate the capital back to Canada. So, and then I think the bigger issue that Canadians have is the tax treatment. Like, what do you do? Like, I don't want to pay taxes in the U.S. and in Canada. And the appropriate or the proper way for a Canadian to invest in the US is through a GPLP structure because a GP will have set up an appropriate LLC structure, so you're not double taxed. There's this issue around double taxation where you're paying tax in the US and tax in Canada. And what the IRS, the GP will do for you with the W-8BEN, they'll register you, you'll get a tax credit, and then you'll take that credit and file it with the CRA in Canada. So you're not double taxed. We unfortunately can't get around capital gains the way you guys can in the States, and we certainly don't have that lovely thing called accelerated depreciation or anything like that. We can't even do a 1031 exchange up here. Like, there's just like, we just have our but, there's so many great ways to take advantage of, great deal flow in the US that way. So and so many more ways to invest. If you're an investor, your self-directed IRA or a 1031 exchange, there's lots of ways you can invest, in the US that we just don't have access to in Canada.